Hello everyone, welcome to Vicky's Signature. So in today's video we'll be looking at how to cut and sew this beautiful lapel shirt. It can also be used as a blazer dress, this pattern I'm about to show you. So this is a fabric I'll be using. Pink and white fabric is Mikado, so it's just for tutorial sake. Yes, so first thing I have to do is to draft the back. So for us to do that, I'll be rolling a margin of 1/2 inch. So I'll mark out 1/2 inch on the upper part, then I'll use my straight rule to connect the lines together. So mind you, this part that I'm doing is just basically going to be the back. So after doing that, I'll take my bust measurement, divide by 4 plus 2 inches, then I drew the line down so that I'll segment that part, and that part is going to be for the back and the back alone. So that is what I am doing, so that when we are done with this part for the back, we can use this other both side for the front. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So now after doing that, on that back line, I'll be coming in with 1/2 inch again in order for us to contour the back. There is not going to be a zipper, so we need to contour it. So that is why I'm rolling the margin of 1/2 inch there again. So I believe we all understand down to this part. So now this is the back I just labeled now. So let's go ahead to put our basic measurement. So what we have to put here is just like putting our basic bodies. So first thing first, we are going to be doing our shoulder to bust point, which is 10 inches, yes, and then shoulder to the waistline is 16, and then the length of the top I want it to be 20 inches. So anything I have on this side, I'll mark it on this other side, then I'll connect it together. So shoulder to bust point to waist, and then the length of the top, then I'll go ahead to connect them together just like so. So let's label it bust point, waist, and then the length. Now after doing that, we are going to be putting the chest line. So for our chest line, it is 8.5 inches. Reason being that I already have the calculation offhand. So for you to do that, you just divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5, then come down by your shoulder slope, and you have your chest line. So I always do basic bodies in all my tutorials, so that was why I didn't do the calculation for the chest line again, but everything remains same. Now next thing for us to do is to put our shoulder measurement. So you divide your shoulder by 2. So when I divided mine, I have 7.5. that is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. Then I'll go ahead to connect the line together just like so. So after connecting it, I'll be coming down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. So after coming down by 1 inch, anything I have there, I'll just simply divide it by 2 and then get the midpoint. So this is just our basic bodies. Then after that, I'll go in by 0.5 or 0.25 at that point. Then I'll connect it to meet the shoulder slope. On that chest line, I'll put the bust measurement divide by 4. So the bust I'm working with is 36. When you divide it by 4, you have about 9 inches. So I'll go ahead to curve it like so, and then that is our 9 inches. So for the neckline, I'll be making use of 3 inches by 1. So mind you, this is a shirt, you don't need to add or remove. Yes, so for the width I use 3 inches, the depth I use 1 inches. Then I'll just go ahead to connect it just like so. So after connecting it, I'll connect the neckline to meet the shoulder slope, just as you can see me doing like this. So now I think the back, we are almost done. So for the waistline of the back, we are going to be putting the waist measurement divided by 4 plus this thing plus 1 inch for that. Then on the length of the top, I'll be using my hip measurement around that hip region so that we can connect it together. So on that waistline, let's go ahead to put our 1 inches for that. Now next thing we'll be doing is to connect the lines together from the bust to meet the waist, and then from the waist to meet the length of the blouse. Can you see? So you can either connect it like this to give it a shape or you can connect it straight, like let the whole thing be straight from the bust down to the length of the blouse without shaping it, you get. So it is still another way you want it, you can do it. So I'm just using this dotted line so that at the end of our tutorial, at the end of the day, we can pick the neckline we want. I believe you understand. So that is all for that. So this is me just trying to blend it, and trying to blend the this thing, the lines, yes, trying to blend the connecting. So I'm still showing you another method. If you don't want it straight but at least a bit curvy, you add small to the waistline. Yes, so that is all I am doing there. Now we are done with the back. Yes, so let's go ahead and do the front. So for the front, you'll be coming down by about 5 to 6 inches. So for this, I'll be using 6 inches because we are going to be drafting the collar together with it. So we'll come down by 6 inches. You know, for the back we came down by half. So for the front, we are coming down by 6 inches because it is the front that has the collar. That is where we are drafting the collar from. Now after coming down by 6 inches, we are now going to mark the full measurement there, which is 20 inches, right? Then we'll go ahead to connect it together, and I'm just trying to cut this part off so that it will not distract our drafting. Now this is going to be the front. I'm trying to label it so that we can see it. So I came down by 5 inches. Yes, I'm just seeing this. So you can either come down by 5 or 6 inches, but for this particular one I did 5 inches. So on the side, you'll be coming in by 2 inches. So that 2 inches is going to serve as our button allowance. Yes, as our button allowance. So when we get there, you're going to understand it perfectly. It's going to serve as the button allowance. So let's rule the margin. Now after doing that, we can now draft our basic bodice again. So just exactly what we did for the back, we can now start transferring it and then start drafting it to the front. Now can you see I've done the armhole, put the everything, and I've shaped it sharp. That is so fast, right? Yes, because I don't want us to waste time again, because it's exact same thing. It is just a neckline that is different. So for the front neckline, I use 3 by 3 inches. Now let's go ahead to the main reason why we are here, that is for the lapel. Now you're going to measure your back neckline just like so. I told you can use this method for blazer. This is just like, even this is just like a blazer. I measured it and I have 3.5, that is 3.5 inches. So I'm going to be putting that 3.5 inch just like the way you are seeing it. But in this case, instead of putting the measurement straight, we are going to be slanting it. So let me not just be talking, let's do the doings. You see the way I slant my tape, it is not straight. So I slant it and then put the measurement that I measured, that is 3.5. So that is my 3.5. Now after putting that 3.5, you go inward again by 3 to 4 inches. So I'll be making use of that same 3.5. So that is what I normally do. Anything I have here, since I have 3.5 here, I'll be making use of that 3.5 for the inward direction. And the inward direction is not also straight. It is not straight, it is what slant, just as we did for the first 3.5. So after slanting the line, we'll go ahead to put our 3.5. Look closely, that is the 3.5 that I just put. Then next thing now is for us to connect it from that part to meet the neckline. But before that, we have to do the basic there before connecting, because if you want to connect it now, there's nothing you can do here. So now you're going to determine your breaking point, where you want the opening of the front to be. So for this tutorial, I'll be making use of like 6 inches from our neckline. I believe you understand what I'm saying. But if it is blazer, you can use your bust point, your under bust, or even down to your waist for your breaking point. So I'll be using 6 inches because this is going to be a shirt. You know, blazer, you use it, then when you are done, you can use your inner inside. But this particular one is a shirt, so that is why we didn't go as far as under bust. So this one I'm marking is 1 inch for the button allowance. Yes, so go ahead to mark your 1 inch down. So now after marking the 1 inch button allowance, we can now continue. So remember, our breaking point is 6 inches starting from our neckline. Now from that point, can you see that our 1-inch point there? We go up by what? Like we go up by half inches. Now at the edge of that 1 inch, the remaining 1 inch that is left, can you see the remaining 1 inch that is left? You divide it and then try to form something and then make a spacing of half inch there, so that when you connect this, the little space there, that is going to be the design of the neckline. And after that, that is all for the drafting of our blazer slash lapel shirt. So look at the way I'm cutting it, right? Yes, that is how to cut it. So we are making sure we target our breaking point, and after we are done, this is how it's going to be. And after doing that, after cutting it, I'm gonna have to cut it on the fabric. These are the lining. It is the lining that you are seeing in purple. The main fabric is in pink and white Mikado. So let's get right into the sewing properly. So now we are going to be joining the shoulders together just as seen. So let's join the shoulders. After joining the shoulders, this is what we have. Can you see our neckline is coming out small? After joining the shoulder, we join the shoulder of the lining also, right? Yes, we join the shoulder of the lining. Now next thing for us to do is we'll bring the collar that we fix. I make sure that while I was cutting, I notched it very well so that to know where to place it. So I'll be placing it just like so, and then I'll pin it. And in case this tutorial is too fast or you didn't get it very well, I have a well detailed blazer tutorial on my channel. It's a blue blazer. I recreated Prudential fashion and this team dress, so you can go and watch that one properly again after watching this. So I'll go ahead to place the collar on both the main fabric and the lining, and then pin it all the way around. I believe you see what I'm trying to do. I'll pin it all the way around. Then after pinning it, we'll go over to the sewing machine and stitch it. Mind you, I'm trying to locate where I notch. That is why it is very good for you to notch, so that when you are joining or when you are pinning it, it will be very easy for you. Now after pinning it, we'll go ahead to sew it with half of an inch. Then I'll bring it so we'll continue. So guys, this is what we have after I was done doing that. I've gone ahead to join it, and then can you see this is the main bodice, and then this is the lining part. So next thing we'll be joining the main fabric and the lining just like so. Then we'll sew it what, half of an inch all the way down. Can you see? Look at the way I'm placing them together. I'll sew it half of an inch, so curve like this. Can you see? Curve like so. Sew it inside, and then that part I'll also what, sew it using the half of an inch all the way. Then once I'm done sewing it, I'll bring it. So guys, after sewing it, do you see what we have? So this is just a step-by-step method of you sewing your shirt or your blazer dress. Now next thing for us to do is to sew that part down. Then I will bring it. So guys, can you see? And I've also gone ahead to sew the down part. So that is all. Before that, we are going to notch it properly so that when we are flipping it, it's going to relax. You know, this is Mikado fabric. It's not really relaxing like that, so I have to just do my best. But once you use it with Ankara or let's say crepe fabric, it's relaxed properly. I made something like this for my clients not quite long, and the whole dress and jacket relaxed properly. Now after doing that, this is me trying to flip it over and then using the scissors to locate the sharp corners and trying to opening it. So guys, after flipping it, this is what we have. Can you see? It's not relaxing, but then we just have to do our best. So now this is what we have for the collar, right? Can you see that the neckline, the shape of the neckline is trying to come? So next thing for us to do is I went ahead to join the side, yes, so that it will not be too bulky for us, so that we can remember. I joined the side, then I ironed it properly. You see that by this point the thing is looking more relaxed than that first time that we flip it, right? So I've gone ahead to join the the side together. So next thing for us is to join the sleeve. So after joining the sleeve, this is where I joined the sleeve using the normal way of joining sleeve. So I didn't do the blazer pattern of joining sleeve, so that was why I say you can go and watch that my tutorial. Now after that, next thing for us to do is to put our button. So I'm using this black and bold button. So after putting the button, this is the final look. Can you see? This is a final look and I love it. So bye and see you in my next tutorial.